Hi everybody, this is Dave and Jeanette. Dave and Jeanette's garden on the 15th of April, Saturday 2023. After the big storms this week. And yeah, I probably wish I'd taken the video last weekend, but I just ran out of time. So I'm afraid not many daffodils or tulips, because most of them have been blown away, but there's still plenty to look, and I wanted to do it early because the garden does look really nice. Okay, so there we go. The trees are getting bigger in the paddock. Definitely some life in the paddock now. Standing in the corner, I feel like I'm in a jungle. Whoop. Yeah, it's a hazy day today. It was lovely and sunny yesterday, but just run out of time yesterday. I spent yesterday repairing the antennas after the big storm, so yeah, not a day for taking a video. Looks like we've been lucky, and we've lost a couple of trees down here, but most of them look okay, so I'm quite pleased about that. And need to get in and across there, I'm sure you can see. Yeah, need to get in and do some weeding and get that gorse out. I've already fought one battle with gorse in here originally. I don't know if you can see down here. I cut the grass, I think it was last weekend before the storm, and it was absolutely covered in violets, and they're all coming back again. So in about 3 or 4 days' time, I expect this to be a sea of violet again. Okay. Yeah, it's been a tough winter this year. We had a -3.6 one day, very rare down here. And we've had storms, I think we've had a couple of storms now in excess of 100 miles an hour. Lots of damage. Yeah, lost, at one point, I lost all the antennas on the big tower. Yeah. I think it's just one of those things I'm just going to have to accept living down here, that we have bad winters. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. Even the trees up here are doing well. So they're only willow, but at least they soak up any of the flooding we get down in the paddock. And eventually, well, some of them are there already, but eventually they'll be the fence posts. So I probably need to trim a couple of these off because they're getting pretty high now. Yeah, I'm going to have to go and pick that litter. I don't know where that's come from. Out somebody's bin, I expect. I'll pop back down for that in a bit. Yeah, I do like gorse in one way. Beautiful flowers this time of the year. I mean, it's just a big splash of colour. Of course, really good for the flies and the bees and insects. Just it's a job to stop it marching into the garden. I mean, I've got it under control at the moment, but it's not a war you win. It's just constant battles. And yeah, same with the brambles. You can probably see the brambles in here. Pretty high. It's lots of cars at the moment. Still people down here on holiday. And yeah, enjoying the beautiful weather after a really awful week for the people that were here in the week. I know a lot of people lost their tents, and yeah, some big damage on some of the sites. And yeah, the storms have taken the toll with the fencing here, so David's got to replace that as well. Some of the willows we put in here, we're not sure if they're alive or not. I think probably this one might be dead, but I'm going to leave it. But this one does look like it's still alive, so I hope so, because it was a rooted goat willow, so it should have taken. Okay, I'll do a trip down this part of it first. The hydrangeas are all growing back after having an absolute frying last year in the sun. They actually dumped all their leaves this year again, and they look really sad, and we were a bit worried about them, but they're growing back. And yeah, other things as well are looking quite tatty, so it doesn't look fantastic along here. The flowering, I'm probably going to get this wrong, I want to say blueberry, but it might not be blueberry. That was full of blossom. Sorry, this one. And the flowers are, they're really sweet little flowers, but they're just about over now. And I'll stop and turn around after I've just gone into this garden. Some of the lovely tulips and other plants. So this bed now is really filling out. There's some absolutely beautiful tulips in here. We've had a really good year for tulips, and for daffodils as well. Lots of foxgloves coming. There. Noisy motorbike. But yeah, considering things aren't looking too bad. And even our little fig tree, we thought that had died as well, but there we go. That's growing away. I think that's going to really shoot up this year. We surrounded it with bricks to try and constrict the roots, because we both love figs and we do want fruit off it. Yeah, the greenhouse was wobbling an awful lot in the storms, but it survived. There's a rhubarb already. We can have early rhubarb, pluck the rhubarb. The leeks, I'm not sure how long they got to go. I think probably a couple of months yet until we harvest them. We've got some more very rotted manure. It's been 2 or 3 years, I think, this has been sitting, so it is fantastic, and we've just overlaid it into the raised beds. And I've just repaired this morning the sticks. We put the sticks up and we put some beans in, and we've also put some peas in, petit pois, into the grid at the bottom. But this was all flattened in the storms as well this week. We don't very often get, I think, 96 mile an hour gust on the Needles. I think we're probably getting similar here. And yeah, it was quite worrying for a time. It was really nasty. And we've already put our chard in. I think we're a week too early putting it in, because some of this also has just been literally ripped out the ground by the winds. There's some in there, so we should be picking chard in a few weeks, and then we're away with our summer salad veggies. And yeah, we've got a few plants coming along in the what's left of the cold frames. These two have lost their lids. This one, sadly, I might be able to repair that. Yeah. And what I'll do, I'll walk across here before walking back round. Yep. Nobody in the greenhouse there. Jeanette's been busy, so the tomatoes are all sown, cucumbers, courgettes as well, and lots of plants all in there. Yeah, she's busy getting ready for the summer. Okay, I'll walk back out this way, but hopefully you can see them, the bluebells. I thought I'd dug all these out here and they're absolutely everywhere. There's a few that are left. I know they're not daffodils, I've forgotten the name of them, but they are very pretty. It's nice to have a bit of colour, and the lovely bluebells. Even though they're not the British bluebells, I'm not going to kill them off. They're still nice in the garden. And Jeanette's also put her display, hoping that that's the last of the winds. Lots of plants out there, lots of flowers, so yeah, so fingers crossed we don't get any more winds, otherwise we'll have to get these in quite quickly. Geraniums, succulents, so we shouldn't get another frost. That's another reason why we might have to pull them in quite quickly. We got stung this winter. We did lose quite a few geraniums in the garden with that cold snap. Our little tree gets bigger every year. And the bearded irises around here are absolutely gorgeous. Now I thought we've missed all these because the storm knocked their heads off quite a few, but they're still flowering, which is good, so they're still coming along. Bluebells, primroses, perennial wallflowers. But yeah, the bearded irises are absolutely beautiful. And this is a nice perennial wallflower. It's got lots of different coloured flowers on it, which is really nice. And the shrubs at the back are slowly getting there. And as you can see, we don't dig out the primroses, we actively encourage them. I think they're absolutely beautiful this time of year. You can never have enough primroses. Primulas is our target going forward, so some nice candelabra primroses would be nice. Primulas in the garden would be nice. We got some sedums in there. And some lilies coming along. Narcissus, I think they're called, these. See if I can, they've been battered by the storms. Let's go into one of them and have a little look. I think they're absolutely beautiful. We had lots and lots of these, but as you can see, quite a few of them either flattened or the flower heads have gone totally. Oh, they're just really beautiful things. So I never realised we had so many. Yeah, a bit sad with the two elms. I've cut them off at the top, hoping they'll grow. But I think they're probably diseased, so I'll be taking them down. But we have got more elms growing. We've got some other trees growing. We're putting in lots of trees, so hopefully the gaps will be filled. Right. Let's have a look at my antennas up through the trees. You can't really see a lot. Yeah, it was a big HF antenna that went in the last storm, the previous storm. All three of the top antennas were damaged. The top one, the boom snapped. The very top one, the middle one, was battered by the boom that was dangling down, and the bottom one, oh, it's just been bitten. The bottom one lost 3 elements. So yeah, they're all repaired already, so that's positive. But I'm just going to have to accept I'll have to do that every year. Or maybe I don't have the antennas up at 80 foot in storms. Maybe that's the thing, but it's getting it down. Okay, so the raised bed over here. It's all kind of in early stages at the moment, but a lot have survived. We've topped this up as well with lots of mulch. As you probably noticed, we've been mulching everywhere in the garden. Lots and lots of mulch. And that's in case we get a very dry summer again, a very hot, dry summer. We don't want to lose so many plants again in the summer. Gunner is well on the march. The gunner loves all this wet weather, and hopefully soon the That'll be 6-7 foot tall. And our new bed over here, after being absolutely dried out and baked, quite a lot of it survived. So it is growing. Yep. And the shack, the roof survives. And let me just step over here because I'll go down the back now. And the telescope, I lost the top. So the whole top snapped off, ripped the telescope off, ripped all the mount out, absolutely ripped all the USB cables, they're all wrecked. Both eyepieces were snapped off on the telescope. One of the bolts was bent 45 degrees, which probably saved the telescope. I set it up last weekend, I realigned it. I have to run the USB across the ground now because the cables that I run underground are all ripped out from the storm. But it still works. So a little bit more of a fiddle to get it going, but yeah, 2 1/4-inch bolts snapped off. I've now got a 3/4-inch bolt on one side, a 1/2-inch bolt on the other side, and 2 lashings of 1/2-inch rope from top to bottom. So it survived the last one, so hopefully that'll be good going forwards. Right. Yep, our little seat here. Lots of sedums for succulents and those types of things in there. They're all doing okay. It's going to be a good year for lilies. Hope it's a good year as well for hydrangeas, because we lost all the flowers off them last year with the heat. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of things coming along. You can see the mulch here. We put it on about 6 inches thick, so it's good and thick. And around the trees, these little succulents, and they survived the frosts amazingly, so they're doing okay. And you see plenty of hostas in there, so the hostas are going to be good this year. And the ground, oh, it's still wet here. I just trod in that. The ground is very, very, very squidgy. Okay, so nothing really new over there. And I won't go the whole way up. I just walk part of the way up to the pergola. This bed's all doing well. The hydrangeas are all growing up. The cannas are coming up back through the ground, which is good. I thought they'd all died in the frost, but we did mulch all across the top of them. And a few of the other plants also survived. So yeah, these are going to be good this year. Can't wait for them. So there's a few that have self-seeded already, which is good. So this year I think then what we'll do, any that self-seed, we'll move them around the garden a little bit, because we do like these and we want plenty of these in the garden. Yeah, okay, and there are the bananas. The banana was up around 5 foot tall before the frost and the winds hit, and I thought, blimey, we're going to have a fantastic banana plant this year. And as you see across the back there, it's not very good because the sun isn't shining, it's hazy, but everything else is doing okay around here. If I come back round. Okay, let's head off to the fairy garden, because Jeanette at last has a summer house. So we got the base laid, and in February we got the summer house put up, and we've just finished a few weekends ago doing the round on the base, making it look all nice and neat. So we've also put struts up the back. So we're going to have the wisteria, which at last look like they're going to have a good year this year. They're certainly looking much better. So down there, move the bearded iris there, and the other one down there, hopefully they're going to shoot up. Virginia creeper's already off, and yeah, we got some willow up here, but yeah, we want it all across here, all covered with wisteria. We can hope, can't we? So in here is the summer house. And there's the bug hotels. And there we go. Nice comfy sofa. Jeanette's sewing machines. She's already been active in here. So it's going to be like a crafty room. And a big mirror. The clock is wrong. Got to change the battery, so ignore the time, it's not that. If I just pan out. And there we go. There it is in all its glory. We're really pleased with it. We've got some tiles as well that we might put around the edge, around the back. And I don't very often go down here. Hello, rhododendron. You took a battering this year as well. But you seem to be doing okay, and there's lots and lots of flower buds. So yeah, I think this is going to flower nicely. But in here, we've actually got a few surviving tulips. So we planted lots and lots of bulbs here. We've had all sorts come up. We've had crocuses, we've had, oh, I can't remember, lots and lots of different daffodils, all sorts of different daffodils. And the bluebells, after we piled all the ground up here to give this tree a chance, the bluebells has just started to find their way through. But of course there's lots of weeds. I'm not going to touch it until everything's over in here, and then I'll come and cut it all down. The goosegrass is off again. And yes, the hydrangeas are picking up. And the daylilies are going to give us another good show, I hope. They really enjoyed the dry weather last year. They did really well. And little tree, I've forgotten the name of it. But I broke it off. So I said, right, I'm determined to get it growing again. Elder. It's an elder. And it is. And here we go, a cherry, which I also snapped off. So this one is growing back up, so I'm quite pleased with that. Jeanette's been very busy. The sheds are going to look really, or the wood sheds are going to look much nicer. We've got some doors for all of them to go in. And Jeanette's put all her fairies out. They did get blown around, but she's put them all back up again, so they look really nice. And the cordylines are starting to grow up at last. We had some survivors. There's succulents in the garden, as you can see as I'm going round. As you can see, lots and lots of primroses. And that phormium's getting quite big there as well. But yeah, it's really nice. There's a little sign, fairies welcome. And the roses dotted through here are quite healthy, so that's good. And these are going to be nice. Some of them are coming into bud already, which is pretty early. Alright, I shall march my way around, come the other way past the lovely bluebells around here. Try not to tread on any of them. This has been really good this year. This has given the pollinators something to gobble up, and just kept flowering all winter. Some wallflowers as well. I'll walk across this way. The wall, we've got some things growing up on the wall. There are lots of herbs in there. The mint seems to have survived, and the thyme. The wallflowers, I think they absolutely love it when it gets really cold. I mean, I've lost my sense of smell and I still haven't got it back. It tells me it's absolutely lovely, the smell. Okay, we don't normally come through this way, but that's my arch, Budleia Arch, and I think it's going to be really nice again this year. We did think, oh, it's going to be a failure, it'll never work, but it has. Right, so we do still have some lovely tulips. Not all of them got absolutely obliterated. And these down here, I hope my battery doesn't run out or I run out of space. Whoop. Look at them. They are spectacular. Yeah. I like them as well though. They're nice. But they're all different colours and they're all the way along here. They are beautiful. Willow, we've still got to get them planted out. I mean, they are really nice colours. Lots of foxgloves in here, self-seeded, so that's going to be good. And a few daffodils, the last of the survivors. And our weeping willows, our 2 weeping willows there. There's one. We have one behind the seat. And behind there we've got, I think it's 5 or 6 holly trees. This is the one we had to chop down, the willow, and it's gone absolutely mad, so it's really good. Slowly our borders are filling in. And we want to start harvesting some of the pups on the bromeliads. So we think it's an absolute fantastic way with areas you can't grow anything else. You put bromeliads in, so it gives you a lovely green all winter, and they are so tough. They're very difficult to kill, so they grow absolutely anywhere you put them. Okay, and just one turn round to here. I hope this is a good sign. This looks like we're in for a bumper pear year again. Conference pears. The apple tree sadly is dead, but I've left it there because the kiwi fruit's enjoying growing up around it. And there's the other bed with the other survivors from the winds. I mean, look at that one. Looks more like a rose than a lily. Sorry, than a tulip. Yeah. Still doing very well. Okay, I might run out of power, so I better march on. Now it's really odd, and they've been up for a while, but I don't know if you can see, hopefully I'm not too far away, you've got red up pokers, and they came up the end of March. Don't ever remember seeing them that early before. And they're kind of nearly over already. They're small ones, but we certainly haven't had those come up before that early. But yeah, that's one of those weird things. Maybe the climate is a little bit topsy-turvy. More of those lovely wallflowers, and I think they are self-seeding. So we've got lots of little wallflowers in here, and this was absolutely obliterated, but it's growing back slowly. Yeah, the reason why I didn't manage to get the video done earlier when it was sunny was because I was painting all the windows and the insides all black. So we've got a very Cornish house. I've still got the outside to paint yet, but at least that part's done. Okay, the ivy tree, I'll have to try and video it next end of next summer when it's full of ivy bees. There's thousands of them. I don't know where they come from, but they are pretty little things, and they're absolutely everywhere, all over it. They love the nectar from the ivy. Yeah, everything's picking up. We had to chop a lot of stuff down, so David as well. So we'll let it all grow up, new shoots. Yeah, I mean that was about 15 foot tall, but it's just getting really straggly because of the severe gales we've been having. Okay, the white border. So I'll take a wander down the white border. Lots going on in the white border. Still quite a few daffodils in here. It's a little bit protected here. And a few lilies as well. So it's been, what a year for lilies though. What a year. Really good. The Japanese, is it an enemy? That's spread an awful lot. I think they're Russian, is it Russian snowdrops? They've done really well this year. Look at the lovely blossom on that. Yep, the weird stump that I thought was a dead tree is still growing. And there's our little bit of jungle over the corner, so everything is growing slowly. And we've got these now all over the wall down the bottom as well. So down alongside the lane, so on agapanthus, so agapamps, are they agapamps or agapanthus? But they're really pretty flowers, globular flowers, so they should be growing everywhere. And the daisies all along here as well. Now they're going to grow all up and grow over the wall, so we'll have just full of daisies for the summer. Yeah, this area I'm going to walk away from here because it's still wet down there. I don't want to sink into the mud. If I just come round and nearly finished, back to the Isle of Wight College garden. So people from the Isle of Wight College watching this, it's amazing, isn't it, how much it's grown. It only seems like yesterday I was working with you all at the college. And our monkey puzzle tree, it's just sending up another shoot in the middle. So that had a bad year last year. It didn't grow a lot because of the very dry weather. The cordyline have taken over now. And also a couple more trees here. And we had to chop part of the sycamore off this year. So we had to chop that branch off, and quite a few actually over the